Hey, tree sprites. So, this is an interesting comment. What if the oppression, the contrast of things, ideals, etc., is a part of authentic humanity? So, in determining whether or not the things that we do socially are a part of our natural human behavior versus our indoctrination into oppressive systems, I always look to nature and other life forms to give us an answer, or at least a clue to what is really real, because what is true and authentic is what is in the natural world. One thing that is definitely authentic to our biology is variety in every way, shape, and form. If we know and have seen nothing else of the biological world, is that nature loves variety. In studying evolution, we can see that natural selection tends to favor heterogeneity, which is variety, versus homogeneity, which is sameness. In fact, the more homogeneous a species is, the more at risk they are of going extinct. However, having variation within your species typically gives you a pretty big evolutionary advantage. For instance, a species is much more likely to survive a catastrophic event such as disease or severe climate change if they have variation within their species. Even though you may lose some members or even a significant portion of your population, some will always survive. And the ones that survive will pass on the molecular tools needed to survive these events. And aside from survival and natural selection, nature simply seems to love expression, to demonstrate what is possible of a species in every way. A great example of this phenomenon are song sparrows. There are about 24 identified subspecies and twice as many forms that they can take. They can be found all over North America in every type of environment that exists on this continent, except aquatic. Their vast heterogeneity has allowed them to exist in all of these different environments and exist as every type of song sparrow that you can possibly exist as. So, in terms of contrast, if we know nothing else, human beings are meant to be different. Different phenotypes, different cultures, different ideologies, different social systems. So, the idea of superiority based on phenotype and using that as a platform to oppress other humans is simply pathological. It is not a part of our authentic humanity. It is 100% socially engineered. It doesn't manifest out of our authenticity. It manifests out of fear, out of a sense of scarcity and of being in a deep survival mentality. Because from a broad scale, metaphorical bird's eye view, social oppression is detrimental to all of humanity, not just the targets of oppression. Because we are one species, we are essentially cutting off our nose to spite our face. Because what we don't like to acknowledge is that social oppression leads to things like environmental destruction, lack of healthcare, lack of access to natural resources, all in the name of keeping marginalized people marginalized. Like misogyny, from a biological view, doesn't make any sense at all. Every member of your species comes through a woman, or people who are assigned female at birth, which most of those people are women. And so, in order to maintain this oppressive system of misogyny, you literally risk every member of your species that is born. And you essentially lower the integrity of your species by oppressing and attacking and harming the woman. And then, in terms of environmental destruction, you frequently see the areas of the world that are most densely populated with Black and Brown people being the targets of intense deforestation, mining, and other very unsustainable and destructive practices. And what we're not seeing is that these practices are directly contributing to global pollution, global climate change, the global limitations of natural resources that all of humanity needs to survive. The things that we perceive of as happening over there are gradually causing an impact everywhere. We do not live on different planets. And though the Earth is a massive entity, in a way, it's smaller than what we think it is. We are not really that removed from the atrocities that are being committed against the environment and against other human beings in other countries. And if we continue speeding down the path that we're on, it's not going to look good for our entire species. And so, variation is absolutely a part of our authentic humanity. However, oppressive systems absolutely is not.